Okay, welcome to my live session. This video is for DIY investors, specifically for the stock market. DIY means do it yourself. It means if you're investing and doing it yourself, this video is for you. And we're going to be talking about why haven't you bought more stocks? Especially if you have bought stocks or ETFs in the past, why haven't you bought more so far? Why? Give me a minute. I'm just going to make sure I'm live on all the platforms, right? And then that way we can get started. Okay, so the topic today is why haven't you bought more stocks, right? Why haven't you bought more stocks? And this is specifically for do-it-yourself investors for the stock market, especially if you have bought stock in the past or bought ETF in the past. I'm going to tell you why before we get into the story. The real reason you are doing that is because you are not sure of what you're doing, right? You're not sure what you're doing. That's what stopped a lot of people from buying more. I don't know about your case specifically, my dear. I don't know about your case specifically, but for many people that I've interacted with, what's really stopped them from buying more after they bought their first few stocks or few ETFs is that they do not trust their judgment. They do not know what they're doing. So we're going to talk more about that. Let's start with Winnie. She's a lady that I met recently, and we're talking about the stock investing, stock market. And she was like, yeah, I have some stocks. And I was like, oh, wow. And she brought out her phone and she was showing me these are the stocks she has bought. And I was like, that was where this question came from, right? I was like, okay, when did you buy these stocks? She was like, I bought them a while ago and I've just been watching them here and there. And I was like, okay, why haven't you bought more? That was where the whole the building started cracking. So why haven't you bought more? Right? And she looked at me and was like, well, I'm still watching it, and I was like, okay, so for how long have you been watching this your investment? Because she's like, I'm still watching it to see, what I'm going to do. So I said, for how long? And she was like, yeah, it's getting to 3 years now, right? So she bought these stocks and ETFs, just over $1,000 worth of stocks and ETFs, and she has been watching it for close to 3 years. And I say, okay, what will happen that will make you be sure of what you're doing? What are you going to see that when that happens, you're not sure, like, okay, yes, I got this covered. I know what I'm doing. Then I can invest more. She's like, no, I'm not really talking about that. I just say, let me watch them and see. So the point is she has been watching these stocks and ETFs that she bought to test the waters, right? For close to 3 years now, she has not bought more. And she doesn't know what is going to happen that will make her know that, yeah, I now understand how to do this investing. I trust my judgment. You understand? So I went on to start explaining to her that time does not solve the problem. If the problem is that you do not trust your judgment, if the problem is that you do not feel like you know exactly what you are doing right now, time will not solve that problem. What I mean by that is waiting 1 more year, waiting 2 years, waiting 3 years is not going to solve the problem, because what is really missing? I'm going to come to that, but let's talk about time, right? And how time is costing you. Okay, so now this person is waiting 1 more year, waiting 2 years, going to 3 years. And if we're not having that conversation at that point, she will have waited even for more years, right? And you know what is painful about this? What is painful is that she actually has money to invest. She's working, she's earning a lot in such a way that at the end of the month, what she's earning can cover her living expenses, and she still has some money left, right? But so she has money that she can invest, but she's unable to invest because she does not really trust her judgment. She has tried it, she's waiting and watching. But the problem is that you're waiting and watching, but you don't even know what you're watching for. What are you watching out for? What will happen that is going to strengthen your mind to go and invest more? Time does not solve the problem that you have. Waiting another 2 more years, another 3 more years, on top of how long you have waited so far, is not going to solve the problem. All right. And I mentioned about how it's costing you. It's costing you because the amount of money you will have invested, even from the onset, or 1 year later, the profit you will have made from that amount that you invested, the profit you will have made the following year and ongoing, you are forfeiting all of that just because you are in a position where you started but you can't move on. It's like you're stuck. Can't you see? It's like you're stuck in one place. So when you buy stocks and because you don't know what you're doing, you cannot buy more, you are stuck. Sometimes, you can be passing through these things, but except somebody is talking about them the way I'm talking about it now, you are not able to put a name to what is happening to you. You are stuck. And my goal is that at the end of this video, you will be able to, you will have known what the problem is, which I've already explained, and you will know what to do next. Because so when we especially during trade shows, during trade missions, this was a recurring thing. I've made some videos even talking about it, that I get to see two group of people: those who don't know what stocks are at all, and this beautiful group of people who know what stocks are. They have a stock investing account, they bought 1 or 2 stocks, but they are stuck. That's it. Year in, year out, that's where they are. Right? So I also want to tell you that if you're in that position, this is not something that is happening to only you. It's not something that is happening to only you. It's happening to a lot of people. There are a lot of people in your shoes. But why is that the case? I've already explained that, which is what? The method you are using to solve the problem, which is watchful waiting. That's what it's called. Watchful waiting is not going to solve the problem because you don't even know what you're waiting for. You're just waiting. You don't know what you're waiting for. You don't know when you're going to buy your next stock. And you are making all this money, right? And the money you are making, you're using it for other things. You're borrowing it to people. You're lending it to people. You're lending the money you're making to people. You're using it for multiple vacations when you will have taken one and that would have been enough. You're using it for luxury items when you will have bought a few less and you will still be fine and you'll still be shining, right? So the money you're supposed to invest is going to different places because you're not investing it. So yeah, it's costing you. Your waiting is costing you. Imagine, let's think about it. Imagine you knew what you were doing. And since that time you bought your first few stocks or ETFs, since that time you've been adding to it every month when you get your salary, right? You've been adding to it. Just imagine it for a moment. How much investment will you have made so far? Right? It will have been a lot. If from the last time you bought your first set, or like when you bought stocks and ETFs, that you kept adding to it because you understood what you're doing, you trusted you trust your judgment, a lot, you will have accumulated a lot. So that is what is missing. Okay, so following all that we saw from trade shows, from trade missions, we've created, beautiful, right? We've created a decision-making system for DIY, which is do-it-yourself stock market investors, which are people like you, people who are investing in stocks, investing in ETFs by themselves. But you buy and your mind is racing up and down, you're having anxiety. So because of that, you just end up at the test. If you just buy a few and you wait and you keep it there, right? So we've created a design system, a rule-based decision-making system that will help you, right? It helps you to know what are the kind of stocks you should select, and at what kind of time should you buy them? At what kind of time should you sell them? Right? And you see, this is what people who use this system, one of the feedback they give is that they buy stock and the anxiety goes down instead of anxiety going up. Because for a lot of people, the experience is that when they buy stock or buy ETF, the anxiety goes up because of the fear of losing money. So every time you are checking what's happening to my stock, what's happening to ETF, every news in the stock market, it's like once there is news, you're busy. When they say this $1.3 trillion wiped out from the stock market today, you are so worried you can't sleep at night. So you limit your investment to tiny figure that you believe you can lose. For many people, why they put a few $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, usually less than $5,000. That's what I noticed. Usually less than $5,000. They put it and they leave it because internally they feel like this is money I can afford to lose. So when you don't know what you're doing, when you don't trust your judgment, you only invest money you believe that even if you lose it, you don't mind. But it's like you are missing something there because imagine you knew what you were doing. What will life look like for you? In such a way that every month you're adding to your investments. From that last time you've been waiting till now. Imagine you were adding to your investment every month. How much investment will you have? That amount you will have had is what is missing, is what this method they are using now is costing you. Okay, so and it would have been a shame for me to come talking about this without having a solution for you, right? Because it would be like after you have finished naming the problem, no solution. So what do we do now? I always feel that when somebody come and talk about something without giving you a solution, I'll be like, okay, now that you've named this all, now that you've named it, what do you want me to do with that information? I'll give you an example. Okay, this is me digressing, but this digression is necessary. I remember when I was pregnant. One time I was pregnant, so I was going to do my hair. All right, I was driving to the hairdresser's place, and usually those days, first I see my hair time. I see my hair time as a time to just relax, be taken care of, kind of. That's the way I feel about it. So when I'm going to hairdresser's place, usually I won't even drive. I call a taxi, or yeah, I call a taxi and I get in, right? So that you drive me, I'll just be looking out of the window, like just relaxing like baby girl. And then after the hair, I'll call over again or a taxi and they'll bring me back. For me, that's how it's like. For me, that's like my self-care time. Okay. Now back to the story. So on this particular time, I was pregnant. I was going to do my hair, so I called a taxi and I entered. I was relaxing like baby girl as usual. And the taxi driver was like, "Oh, you're pregnant?" I said, "Yeah, I'm pregnant." I said, "Like how many months?" I can't remember how many months it was now, but the tummy is already showing. So let's just say 6 or 7 months. And the taxi driver was like, "Do you know your life is going to change forever? Is this your first kid?" I said, "Yeah, it's my first kid." He said, "Do you know your life is going to change forever?" I say, when children come, it's never the same. Your time is gone. Your this is gone. Like I can understand what the Uber driver is saying or the taxi driver is saying, right? It's actually a taxi, one of the local taxis. So I was like, in my mind, I was like, okay, what do you want me to do with that information? Okay, now that I finished hearing from you, I should probably, undo the pregnancy or what? Or permanently not be a mom or what? Like, what do you want me to do with the information? It was like somebody was giving me an information that there's nothing I can do about it. Luckily, that's not what we are doing here. That's the point. If you're wondering how my story is connected to what I'm saying, luckily, that's not what we are doing here. A situation where I'm telling you something, and at the end of it, right? At the end of it, there's nothing you can do. That's not what we are doing here. So what are we doing here? Investonomy. Investonomy. Let me see if I can put the spelling, because some people they have issues with the spelling. Let me show you. This is how to spell Investonomy. All right. So Investonomy, which is our company, we've created a decision system, rule-based decision system for DIY investors, stock market investors to be precise, that enable you to analyze stocks, right? Analyze ETFs and be able to, like, first, we train you on what a good ETF is. We train you on what a good stock is. And with the decision system that we've created, you are going to be able to identify ETFs by yourself, identify stocks by yourself that you trust. Very important. So that when you invest, number one, is not only that you will see your investment doing well, but your anxiety goes down because you know what you're doing. If you even wake up tomorrow and see that, oh, the stock market is going to blazes, you go back to your bed. Like right now, if you wake me up and say, guess what happened? The president of the United States have have tweeted again, and the stock market is rumbling. I'm just going to tell you, pour me more wine, my dear, because and in fact, if I have more money, I'm going to go in and buy more stocks. Is that crazy? Why? Because I know the stocks, I know the companies I'm buying, because stocks are companies. I know the companies I'm buying. I know what their how their performance is. I know how to know when they are in trouble. And when they are not in trouble, the whole stock market can be going down and your stocks will still be fine. But if you don't know what you're doing, my dear, as you may already have noticed, after you buy that stock, your anxiety goes up and you always checking. You don't know what to do. Then you start following everywhere. So many people that talk about stocks online. Then you listen to them. What did they say is happening today? And you know, based on what they say is happening, you are selling. Sometimes you sell yourself. Sometimes you buy more. Where have you ended up with this? Since you've been doing this, how is it working out for you? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something now. Let's call it spade a spade. If what you have been doing is working for you and you are fine, good luck. This video is not for you. This video is not for you. This is not, I'm not here to convince somebody who is okay with what they are doing that they should do something else. If you know, if you feel like, no, Dr. Linda, you're talking about me. I trust my judgment. Fine. Like, that is not, that means this video is not for you, right? This session is not for you. And that's okay. But I also know that there are many people out there who truly do not trust their judgment yet. And I will tell you, when it comes to stock market investing, it's not about being smart. Even the people that are smart still doubt their judgment when they don't have a decision system, a system they use to go through in order to make a decision on what stock to buy or what stocks to sell. All right, even for me as an expert investing, expert in stock market investing, I remember, before we even built this system, there were times that, it's like the system lives in your head. So sometimes you'd be like, okay, this one did not meet this criteria. Let's just buy it. The moment I do that, my anxiety also goes up. So in the past, I've experienced what you are now experiencing. And I can tell you for sure that using a rule-based decision system can help you cure that anxiety that you are having. Again, if you love what you're doing, then this is not for you, right? But if you believe that you are not you make decisions about investments to buy and you're not sure, you're just following random people's advice online. And guess what? When you listen to somebody today and they say, buy this stuff, guess what? When you hear that there's problem with that company, most times you don't get to see that person again for them to make a video telling you, is this the time to sell or not to sell? You see, so you're in trouble. Because it's like, think about it like having a half of something. So even when somebody tell you this is the stock to buy, if you don't know how they arrived at that decision, and then therefore how you will arrive at a decision to decide to sell the stock, you're really in trouble. And this is what causes the anxiety. This is what causes the anxiety. Or, funny enough, sometimes you start hearing competing advice from people. Get a rule-based decision system that helps you, that cures the anxiety, because now you make decisions that are solid, right? You buy companies that are solid. You know exactly why you bought the company. There's this thing I always hear, and it's so funny. Sometimes you see people, they'll be like, when they finish talking, they'll be like, do your research. When they say do your research, what exactly are you going to research? Many people throw that buzzword around. Do your research. Go and do your research. Make sure you do your research. You're telling somebody that doesn't know what they're doing to do their research. What are you researching? Even when you go on YouTube right now, what are you going to type? What video do you want to go and watch? So let me put it, do your research is a scam statement, because it sounds like the person loves you, but They also just leave you helpless. Don't you see? Do your research, do your research. What does that mean? Okay, since someone has been telling you to do your research, what has your research yielded? What's research? Is it when you go online and say and tell AI that, oh, tell me about this company? Is that what research is about? How will you how will you process the information that you get? It's not there's information everywhere right now, right? We can agree to that. Can we agree on something at least? There's information everywhere. There's information online. There's information on YouTube. There's information on social media. There's information on ChatGPT. How do you process that information? I always say, like, in this era, when it comes to investment, I doubt there are people out there who are going to put so much of their a significant portion of their wealth into something because, for example, AI told you to do so. Are you one of those people? If you're one of those people, then yeah, I'm talking. Yeah, this is the wrong video for you to be watching, okay? Because you know AI hallucinates, right? They just get better, but they hallucinate, and when they are lying, they won't tell you they're lying. Is that how you want to joke with the significant portion of your net worth right now? No. So even when AI is telling you something, you need you need to have a decision-making system that help you to process the information you are getting. So we're not here to tell you don't use AI. We're not here to tell you don't go to YouTube to watch video. Don't follow people online. No, do all of that. But when you hear the information, it is the decision system that you have that is going to help you to process the information you are hearing and then to make a decision that you can trust, a decision that you are sure of, a decision that is not after you make it and buy the stocks, your anxiety goes up. If you're a do-it-yourself investor, if you're a DIY investor right now, you know what I'm talking about. True or false? Comment. If you're a DIY investor for the stock market, you're buying stocks or ETF, and you watch this video and it resonate with you, I want you to comment. Is it true or false? Because those who have not started investing or those who don't invest by themselves may be like, what is she talking about? But you know what I'm talking about. The anxiety that keeps you up. The reason you're not buying more stocks since you bought your first few ones. The reason you have money to invest, but you're looking for another place to invest it, even though you have one or two stocks. If you really understood what you were doing, you even sell your asset and use it to buy more stocks. But why is it that when you have money to invest, you're looking for something where else to put it? Meanwhile, you have the entire world open to you through the stock market, irrespective of the country where you're currently living. You are sitting on gold. You are sitting on gold. The stock market is gold. You are sitting on gold. But it's like you don't have the necessary tools to extract that gold. Reason it. You can be standing on a soil filled with gold, but except you know how to extract it, you will not find that gold, right? You won't still have gold in your hand. That's how the stock market is. So there are great companies in the stock market, right? Yet there are frivolous companies in the stock market. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to go and buy frivolous company. Worse, many people would have seen what I want to say. Let me bend my mouth. Many people I've spoken with, I don't know what to do with people, but I think I understand why. A lot of time you hear something like, oh, this company brought out this drug, maybe a pharmaceutical company or something. People always fall for something like that. One company out of nowhere brings out one drug out of nowhere, and people start buying their stocks, and they're so popular in the news, and people buy their stocks. And maybe 6 months later, 1 year later, it goes to minus, right? Maybe the medication did not work as people thought, or was not as popular as people thought, or side effects emerge. Like I'm saying it because you talk to other people, like, yeah, I bought one company like that. I bought. What does this company do? How do they do it? How did you come to the decision to make to buy this stock? Because you heard somebody talking about it. When the person sold, they didn't tell you. So you were left holding an empty purse. You know, all this while, sometimes I'll be like, "Ah." So before you know it, your stock goes to zero. Before God and man, I was talking to someone, and when I used the sentence, before you know your stock goes to zero, he said, mine is minus. Why? I was like, oh, I did not even imagine that your stock can go to minus. But what really happened was that they only did not buy, they bought with their money, but they borrowed money from the platform to buy more of such stocks. And when the stock price went to zero, the money they borrowed, they were also owing it. That's what they meant by minus. There are things happening. Don't let what happened to me before happen to you. Before, let me say, in this era where I am investing with a decision system, before in 2008, when I bought stocks, there was no decision system. In fact, it was a stockbroker that bought it for me. 2009, the stock price was falling. I just told them to liquidate everything. I lost half of my net worth. That damage forced me to abandon stock market investing. In fact, investing as a whole, to abandon investing for years, for more than a decade. That experience forced me to abandon investing for more than a decade. So I want you to know that when what you think is harmless can harm you. Now, I look back and I say, yeah, first of all, I'm grateful for my life and how it turned out. I'm not doing bad, Hey, but I also sometimes imagine if I continued to invest for that whole decade, what difference will it have made? Do you think it will have made a difference? Financially, at least, And of course, I probably would have been learning on top year after year. So sometimes you go and you invest and you are just busy waiting. And at the end of that waiting, you may find out that you have lost your investment. And that is the reason some people will just back out from investment for a very long time. They'll just back out for a very long time. So don't wait to lose your current investment before you start looking for way out. Don't. That damage can damage you for a very long time, where you will no longer be investing. And it is your life we're talking about. So if you currently have stocks or ETFs that you've bought, number one, know that you can do more if you figure out a way to begin to trust your judgment by using a decision system, which, for example, Investomi have created. Number two, understand that if you don't do anything and the stocks you currently have now go down to zero or to minus, it can cause you emotional damage that will make you to back out from investing for a very long time. And that is you backing out from something that will have helped you to grow financially. Don't let that happen. Don't let your mind pick danger. You still have a window. You still have a window to make things right now. You still have a chance to make things right before they go bad. All right? You still have a chance. Make use of it. So, one thing I want you to know is that if you have watched this video to this place, that means you actually resonated with what I'm discussing here today, right? So I'm going to invite you to send us an email to you can request for a one-on-one session. All right? We will not charge you for it. A one-on-one session, just, it's like somebody to talk through what you're going through. Somebody to talk, for you to talk with about what you're going through, right? Like, oh, this is what I'm doing. This is what is really holding me. These are the top questions I have in my mind. I've been looking for an expert to answer, right? So for this month, I said to myself, I've created 10 slots, which I'm calling office hour. So I'm going to do have office hour with 10 individuals, right? And how to get one of the slots is to send us an email to admission@investonomy.com. I also put the email address to be passing on the screen. Admission at admission@investonomy.com. So request for office hour with Dr. Linda. That's the email title, so that we'll recognize you, or my team will recognize you when you email us. Your email title should be request for office hour with Dr. Linda, right? And then provide us like your contact information, like your phone number. We'll probably do a phone call, or we'll do back and forth with you to see what you prefer. Maybe a phone call, a video call, anyone is fine. But this is for 10 persons. The criteria is that at least you should have bought one or two, like you should have bought stocks before. You have a stock investing account, you have bought one or two stocks or ETF, right? And you feel stuck, you don't trust your judgment, you're not sure what you're doing. This is what it takes for you to qualify for the office hour. All right. So if you have not bought stock at all, you are just a beginner, this office hour is not for you, right? This office hour is not for you. We have other resources like my book, Pure Beginner's Guide. Where's the book? Let me see. One moment. Let me see if I can grab it for you. Yeah. So I have this book, Pure Beginner's Guide for Stock Market Investing. The light is shining on it. Okay, good. Pure Beginner's Guide for Stock Market Investing. You can see it. I will have this book. You can find it on Amazon. All right. So if you're a beginner, you are just getting to know about stock markets, feel free and go get this one from Amazon. Pure Beginner's Guide for Stock Market Investing. And the author is Dr. Linda Pajoel, right? So you can get it from Amazon. So if you're a pure beginner, get our book and start from there. Also, take a look at all the resources that we have on this platform, right? Yeah, and also let's see, just a moment. You can also take a look at our website, www.investonomy.com. So if you go to our website, you can go to the menu. You are going to see a lot of resources. You see resources, you see different things that you can benefit from, right? I know everybody learn differently, right? Some we learn through, let's say, a video workshop. Others we learn through books. Others we learn through other things, and you just see all the other things that we have there for you. So you can go to our website, www.investonomy.com, to see more about what we do and the resources that can benefit you. Right now, if you go to the company website, investonomy.com, and you go to the menu and you click on resources, you're going to see all the books, so that if you are somebody who can read digital copy, we are able to give it to you for free. But if you want the hard copy, you can get it from Amazon. All right. So again, the main thing here is that if you have watched this video from beginning to end, right, that means the video resonated with you. Now the pre-qualification is you should have stock investing accounts. You should have bought at least one stock before or one ETF before. Stock or ETF, not both. If you have both, fine, but at least you should have one. And you don't feel, you are not sure of your judgment, you feel unsure about your investing, then this office hour is for you. All right. So write us an email. The email subject is request for office hour with Dr. Linda, right? And so that we'll work with you to see the time that is both suitable and based on what we have available, and we'll be able to talk one-on-one with you and see how we can assist. So to my next session, okay? My name is Dr. Linda Pajoel. I'm the CEO and founder of Investonomy. Myself and my team, we focus on DIY investors for the stock market, and specifically, we've created a rule-based decision system to help people who are currently stuck and also at risk of losing the investment they've made, to get on stock so that they can move forward. Either so that you can make more investment, or maybe you may even need to sell the investments you have in order to invest in others, right? But all of this comes when you can understand, when you can have an idea of a decision system that can guide your investments, your stock investments, to be precise. All right? Take good care of yourself till I see you again.